What's up, everybody? It's Kyndal Ray, aka a walking testimony, walking across America for mental health awareness and recovery. So I told y'all that I was going to start sharing more videos about me and why I'm out on this journey, more about my life and what led up to me going on this journey, and especially for the causes that I'm out here on. If you're not familiar with the journey, over the last 15 years of my life, I've dealt with depression, addiction, and a life of crime. I'm not proud of any of it. I've tried to take my life. I've overdosed numerous times. I've been in county jail. I've been to prison. I've taken a 180-degree turn in the opposite direction from the things that are taking the people that we love and care about. And that's why I'm out here on this journey. I've already done 3,292 miles from coast to coast. Took a little bit of a break, and now I'm back at it. So, guys, whenever I say the word like prison and felonies and things like that, there's a lot of people that tend to crinkle their eyebrows a little bit, or like narrow their eyes, or get a facial expression that you notice, like it kind of throws them off, and they might automatically think about you different for a second. Whether they stick with it or not, it's okay. I'm used to it. I've seen it quite a bit out here. I'm here to tell you my past does not define me. Yes, I've been there. Yes, you'll hear me tell stories as I go throughout this journey, but my past does not define me. And if any of you think that your past does, of course, I may not be able to go get a job being a bank teller or other things like that, but I've had some pretty amazing job offers since I've been out here on the road. But I do choose to do this. I do want to, take what I'm doing to the next level. I'm starting a recovery coach training class here soon. Just really trying to dive deeper because I care about people. But when it comes down to people giving me those looks or whatever, talking about prison and everything like that, there's a lot of people in prison that grew up in a horrible household, that life is what they were raised in. And I hate to see it. I hate to see that anybody would ever raise somebody in a life of crime and addiction. It is heartbreaking, but it is a real thing. I'm not here to try to let y'all know that my life was bad or anything like that, because it wasn't. I was one of those kids that was very blessed with a family that loves me, and even through all the stuff I put them through, are still by my side, and we have a better relationship than we ever had, and I'm so thankful. Now, a lot of people know that I've been wanting to walk across America for years, and I talk about it all the time. And I talk about how I was supposed to take off on my original walk across America for two totally different causes on January 1st, 2015. And a lot of people ask me, what made you want to walk across America? And this is, just another little life story about me and what happened. So, as I am doing a year in county jail, and the reason that I was doing a year in the county jail is because I had pawned a bunch of stolen stuff and caught a bunch of felonies at one time, like 5 felonies at one time, and ended up getting blessed with not going to prison, but I did have to go to jail. I was working for a construction guy. We were painting at a medical center on one of my smoke breaks. I had went out. I had seen a shed. I loaded up a floor buff for a backpack blower and a couple other things. Ran it to a pawn shop. Ended up getting arrested for it. Fast forward, so I'm doing a year in the county jail. And during that year in the county jail, I came across a newspaper article, and you can Google this guy yourself if you want, titled America on Foot. His name is Harrison Melanian. He walked from Tallahassee, Florida to one of the coasts in California. When I came across that newspaper article in my jail cell, I fell in love with it. I fell in love with the pictures. I said, man, I want to do something like that. I still had some months left in county jail, but I was like, you know what? I'm going to get out. I'm going to go walk across America one day. And so fast forward, I ended up getting out early 2014. I ended up reaching out to his Facebook page, America on Foot, and I sent him a message. He ends up messaging me back. I thought it was really, really cool. He said, oh man, it was a life-changing experience. If anybody ever got the opportunity, I would highly recommend it. The only thing I would have done different was walk for a cause. Now, I have read a couple articles, and I know he did talk about exercise. So in a sense, he was promoting exercise, but not any causes specifically. And so when he told me that, I went and posted on Facebook. I was like, hey guys, thinking about doing a walk across America from Jacksonville, Florida to one of the coasts in California. It wasn't even Washington at the time. I was like, but I'm going to need a cause to walk for. So a bunch of people were commenting. It came up to all this stuff. And the two causes that I had ended up picking were cerebral palsy and lung cancer. And it's crazy because I smoke cigarettes. So like that would kind of be a hypocritical thing to walk for in a sense, because people do die of lung cancer with the cigarettes. And it's a sad thing. So either way, I've been planning it. I told everybody about it. I remember like telling my family and stuff. But the thing is, I was still living a criminal lifestyle. I was still on drugs. I was still acting a fool. So like, even though I was telling people and they heard me, some people were like all for it and everything. I had people that were willing to help and everything like that. My family, it was like when I talked about it, they just kind of heard me, but kind of, there was no substance behind what I was saying. So, or sustenance, sorry, behind what I was saying. So, you know, there was no merit behind my words at that time in my life. So fast forward, I'm still putting it together, telling everybody I'm going to do this. Like I said, still on drugs, still living the criminal lifestyle. I was dating this girl. We ended up hanging out with this truck driver who like roofied us in this thing, and I had beef with another neighbor, and apparently I've been outside smoking a cigarette, got in a fight with the neighbor, ended up just getting really belligerent because of whatever I was on. And my police report said that I kind of fought everybody out there, but I guess I got jumped by like 6 people because it was my fault because I couldn't shut up. My mom even told me that like the officers and stuff, they were going to let me go, but I just wouldn't shut my mouth. I just could not be quiet. Typical me, right? Look at me, just talking away. It's what I do. But so when that happened, I ended up going to jail and got put on probation. So my original date was going to be January 1st, 2015. Now I was like, you know what? I'm going to finish the probation and push it back 6 months. And turns out January 1st, 2015, I ended up breaking into a post office in Penny Farms, Florida. And that was the first time. That was the reason I went to prison the first time. So I will say that even in my police report, like the FBI, the Secret Service, special postal agents, a bunch of cop cars, K9s, everybody came out. But there was no security camera. There was no security system at this post office. It was in a retirement community in a small town. And like, it was a week after Christmas, so I got like Christmas presents and Christmas cards and a bunch of stuff like that. Somebody happened to be checking their mail. We didn't hear them come through the lobby door. And at that time, kind of knew, like, I know that we're done. And by the time I had everything with me packed up to get out of there, I was walking outside and I just seen cop cars coming down the road. So I was going to hide behind a tree, and next thing you know, there was just cop cars coming in from all the streets around there. So it was kind of over for me at that point. Now, I will say that I did not get charged federally, and I want to say that had everything to do with the fact that they didn't want the publicity because there wasn't a security system or camera or anything like that. I'm not 100% sure why. I ended up catching 18 months, which I ended up getting out of prison early because of why I was at an adult camp, I ended up getting in trouble blacking out after smoking K2 on my way to breakfast one morning. Passing the lieutenant's window, I ended up just blacking out and falling over or something like that, or walking in circles, they were saying. My bunkie, who at the same time, and it was his birthday, had a seizure. And it was like early, like 4 or 5 in the morning. We're walking to breakfast. I wake up and like there's a nurse's flashlight in my eyes and stuff. So I had gotten in trouble, which they ended up taking away my adult and sending me to a youth offender camp. But they sent me to a boot camp program that if you finish successfully in 120 days, and they release you to the streets on probation for the rest of your time. I ended up getting out only like 2 or 2.5 months early or something because of that. Learned a lot, pushed myself in boot camp. Whenever I was like a model person in boot camp, I was the person that I thought would never get out and get trouble. 18 months later, well, I got out. I ended up violating probation 3 times. The last time I violated, it was like a few days before Christmas, and that was the only time my parents ever paid a bond. And normally you don't get a bond on a VOP. I don't know how it happened. It was like a Christmas miracle. They got the bond. I ended up, because I violated 3 times for smoking weed. Thing is my judge didn't personally have a problem with marijuana alone. He had a big problem with other drugs. I believe he had lost his daughter to a drug overdose or something like that. But I had been working. I had a job and everything. I just was smoking weed. And because of that, the judge ended up dropping my probation after my 3rd violation with a whole year left on probation. So now I was completely free. So don't let me see you back in the courtroom. 5 months later, I ended up, or a few months later, ended up getting in a big argument with my family 2 days before Father's Day. I was in the complete wrong. I had friends over at my parents' house. We were doing a bunch of drugs in the garage, acid and cocaine. Led to a big argument, which led to me beating my disabled dad. And we do have a good relationship now. I was a piece of crap. I was a scumbag when that happened. I was not in my right mind. I feel absolutely terrible about it. It took a while for that relationship to get repaired, but it is, and I'm so thankful for it. Love my dad. And but when that happened, I ended up going to jail on a domestic. And when I got out, well, after like a month, the girl I was dating at the time had ended up bonding me out. And while I was on bond, I was doing stupid stuff. I was kind of homeless, didn't have a place to go. I'd sleep in her car sometimes, but she had her own things going on too. My mom ran a storage facility. I ended up breaking into one of the storage units. Well, more than one of the storage units at the facility. I found the keys to them, and it was a whole thing. And like a few weeks later, I had asked my mom if she could put some clothes in the mailbox for me, and she asked where I was at. And tough love is tough love. I'm not mad at her for it. She ended up having an agent come pick me up because she ended up finally coming across the video footage of where I had been in there doing what I was doing. And I was completely a scumbag for that. My mom could have lost her job. My mom could have lost a lot. I understand that. Please don't come at me with a hard time hearing this. I have changed my life around. I have a good relationship with my family. And and I broke into the storage units, and then me and 2 other people kicked in a drug dealer's door. There was guns in the video, so I got an armed charge. I ended up catching 5 years. Without probation, thank the Lord. 2.5 years into that prison sentence, it clicked into my head that I had to change my life, that this wasn't working, something had to happen different. So I decided to make the changes. I started working out, started going full throttle. I had gained a lot of weight in prison. When I started working out, I lost a lot of weight really quick, and I felt amazing about myself. And I saw a bunch of different things that I was capable of, and I was like, okay, yeah, we're in it to win it. And I joined a group called Toastmasters International. It's a big thing on the streets as well, but they did have little groups of prison. I learned how to write speeches, started getting some good speeches, doing positive speeches, talking about how our actions influence the people around us, ripple effects and different things like that. And I was so proud of myself, getting to work release, still doing my workout thing, but now I'm working, going to work, got an ankle monitor on, coming back to the facility every night, whatever. After a while, because of COVID and everything, they had shut down visits for a while, but after they opened back up, my last couple months, every Sunday I got to go home and see my family and hang out with them. It was really cool. But while I was in work release, I was talking to this girl, and when things did not work out with her, I remembered, like, hey, wow, we had this portrait in this office, like this little painting, and it was the 7 continents. And I remember just seeing the United States, like, hey, I wanted to walk across it. I even remember taking a pencil, like, showing, I was like, man, I was gonna walk from here to here before, and showing the people in my office, like, you know what, I could still walk. I was like, I'm in the best shape of my life. I get out without probation. I have a little bit of money saved up, not rich or nothing, but I was like, I'm in the position to do this. Things didn't work out with that girl. I'm single, like, what's up? And just started looking online, like, hey, what can I walk across America for? And at the same time, it's daily. People are losing their lives to drug overdose, to suicide. People I know, people that I've met before, people that are family members of people that I'm friends with. And it's just so heartbreaking how much it's happened, how often it's happening, especially with this fentanyl being put in everything. And, like, not to ever glorify what I was doing back then, but even just 5-6 years ago, doing drugs was totally different than it is now, because now it's not hanging out with your friends hoping that you don't get arrested or get in trouble doing something stupid. Now it's a 50-50 if you're gonna live or not after you take the drug, and just hoping. You know, some people don't even care, and we want to make people care. We want people to know that they matter too. They don't have to live like that. So I'm seeing this, and I decided to put it together. And when I posted about it, I remember my mom liking the post, and like a couple days later, I'm on the phone. I noticed that she liked the post, and then I remember asking her about it. She said, man, I think that's a good idea. I kind of thought my mom would hit me with it's time to, like, grow up, this, that, and the other. Like, you need to focus and do this, but it wasn't anything like that. And, you know, I have grown up, and this is part of my growing up, and I'm so happy, and I've just grown so much on this journey. So whenever she told me that, I just started putting everything together. I started buying supplies. I started just spending days. I was working in a telemarketing office, so even while I'm on the phone call, I'm just mapping out routes on my laptop. I'm trying to do as much as I can, and everything fell together so perfectly. I had a group of people that came out on January 1st, 2022 to the Atlantic Ocean at Jacksonville Beach Pier. We all hung out and put my feet in the water, and then I took off. And that's why I'm out here, guys. So that's just a little bit about the journey and what led up to it. I will give you all more stories kind of about my past, and I don't want y'all to think that, like, the lifestyle that I lived or breaking into those houses or the storage units or anything like that is cool. It's not. It's so far from cool. I was young, dumb, being stupid, being ignorant, not thinking, not caring about consequences, or the fact that even kicking somebody's door, that somebody could be on the other side with a shotgun. You never know. I was risking my life. I love the adrenaline rush. I love drugs, but I love the adrenaline rush. I still love adrenaline rush, but I get it in a whole different way. Instead of breaking into houses or taking as many drugs as I can, hoping that I will live, but just liking to take chances, and things like that. Like, I get it right now walking on the side of the road with cars coming at me on small roads or on interstates with big trucks coming at me at 80 miles an hour. On this journey, I got to go base jumping twice. I got to go jump off of a 400-foot cliff in Moab, Utah, and it was just an incredible experience. I'm out here, I get to camp, I get to see beauty like this. Basically, scientifically proven in a lot of instances, nature and exercise separately, but both play a big part in just positive mental health, and I love it. So guys, God bless. Please don't forget that you matter. We do recover. That's a little bit about me. I hope that you will like this video, subscribe to my YouTube channel, follow my other social media channels, _walking testimony for my YouTube and my Instagram, and then my Facebook, just a walking testimony. God bless y'all. Have an amazing day, and yeah.